Here we go. Everybody, it's your hospitality friend Glenn here, still in New York. Now, the update is I could have gotten to LA, but I would have been getting to LA just as the Alice conference has ended. So I got my Cracker Jack reporter there who's going to be joining us in a sec. But one, I want to thank my friends over at Unifocus. These guys are supposed to be my sponsor over there. We had a lot of great plans. Sorry it didn't work out, but please check them out. Unifocus, technology that drives value. Check them out at unifocus.com. All right, let's bring him on. Bruce Ford, SVP.
What's up, Double N?
Great to see you. Man, I'm going crazy here. It's cold. We're talking about more snow coming over here. I'm jealous of you guys. And one big development that's been going on is yesterday was Deal of the Year. I want to hear your report on that. And I want to talk about what everyone's talking about with construction in 2026. How's that sound?
Well, it's a pleasure to serve on the Development Pipeline of the Year committee.
Yeah.
We nominated 3 different properties, one in full service, one in select service. And the winners were the Gaylord Hotel in Chula Vista in San Diego.
That's the Gaylord Pacific. And I'm going to just put a pin in that. If you want to watch a lot of great videos I did with the team over there as they were building it, you could go back and follow that development in progress over the last few years. Go for it, Bruce.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
That's why we did all of those reports. We got this great drone footage that we shared on those shows and stuff. It was really fun to watch them build that thing.
Yeah. And then the second property was the Hampton Inn and Suites in Hawaii, developed by Peachtree and Partners. Congratulations to Greg Friedman and his team. A great property.
That's Maui North Shore, correct?
Yes. Yes, so really, really good projects. This year on the development committee, we had 9 select service nominations, and we had 17 full service nominations. Wow. So it really was unique as a year, but also some great projects ended up winning.
All right, so the Hampton project, why do you feel it won?
You know, it's a very environmentally friendly project. Obviously, when you build in Hawaii, you have different standards for what you're trying to do. So I think that's a great example, but also the project itself is unique because they've never had an upper mid-scale product in that location. That's really, it's probably going to absolutely be the top ADR Hampton Inn in the world, I think, which I think anybody would want to develop.
Right? Okay, so then I have a question beyond this. If it's going to be the top ADR Hampton in the world, why be a Hampton? Great brand, I love it, but if you're already that high up, isn't there opportunity to go to another brand?
Consistency, Glenn.
Yes.
People expect consistency, and it'll be the nicest Hampton Inn, probably one of the only resorts that they'll ever have, but a great project, and congrats to Peachtree.
Yeah, and how about I mean, the Gaylord Pacific was such a massive project that was supposed to happen over so many years. I'm not surprised it won, but what was the rationale behind that over the others?
Well, there were some great nominations there. Obviously, the Signia in Atlanta was a big project at the convention center.
Oh, I'll be there in a couple of months.
Yeah. So there were a number of great nominations there. I think the Gaylord project, you know, when they developed those and they began to replicate those in our careers about, it's going to say 15, 16 years ago, didn't they build the second one? And that the first one was Texas, and then it was Colorado, and then it was
you're forgetting Orlando.
Yes, Orlando too, and then and now San Diego. So the projects, the Gaylords continue to you know, innovate how to host a project, how to host a conference that's 3,000 people within the hotel that you don't need a convention center to do.
No,
which is, I think, unique on its own. We often stayed at those types of properties simply because we were doing those meetings, business events, Glenn, where you have to have multiple ballrooms and things like that. So us in the hotel industry, we try and figure out how to have a hotel conference inside of a hotel and not leave.
Listen, I think it's great. I think those products are great, and they offer groups an opportunity to go to different places around the country, but still have all of that all in one built-in element to it.
And this is all part of the Marriott brand.
Yeah, I know. When did they buy it? That must have been about 10, 12 years ago.
15 probably.
15? I don't know.
We're getting old, Glenn.
I know we're getting old here. So anytime one of us says something like 10, 15 years ago, typically add 5 to 10 years, and we'll probably be correct over that. The time is going so fast, we don't even realize it. One thing also going fast is the construction pipeline seems to be getting a little bit bigger over here, Bruce.
Well, the biggest thing on construction, Glenn, is that people are both investing in new projects, kind of getting ready to get ready, perhaps starting in 27, perhaps starting in 28. But also, we have a significant renovation and conversion pipeline.
Right.
Okay. So a conversion is a hotel that is something today that's going to change. Okay. And many conversions happen by brand to brand, but there are also some unbranded properties that come into a brand for the first time.
Yep.
On conversions, about 9 times out of 10, there's a significant renovation attached to that conversion. So that's why we aggregate them together.
That makes sense because there's got to be just about a minuscule non-zero chance that your hotel is going to meet the exact specifications for that particular flag that you happen to be doing a deal with. Right? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So the renovation, it can happen in 3 months. It can happen in 6 months. It can happen in 12 months. It's a little bit variable depending on your existing condition of your property. But what is also unique about conversions and renovations is that there's investment dollars because the hotel is completely recapitalized. Okay. So sometimes it has recently sold. Sometimes it has been the benefit of, I had 30 hotels. I sold a few so I could renovate the other 27.
Right.
That kind of thing too. That is a popular move in the industry today because we really have to reshuffle what we're doing with our real estate because it costs 25% more to run a hotel today than it did prior to the pandemic.
Right.
So as a result of that, we have to make different decisions.
Right. And a lot of people's strategy is to purchase a property with a specific number of years they expect to hold it for before selling it and then taking that capital and doing other types of investments. So it's pretty normal, pretty typical in the 30 years that I've been in this business. It's just regular real estate stuff.
So those conversion and renovation numbers are pretty much records, Glenn, for the United States.
Wow, really?
You can see that 270,000 rooms under conversion and renovation versus 130,000 new construction rooms. That's a significant delta right there.
It is. And I will say my guess is the part of the reason why there's a record number of these properties is because we saw a huge boom of select service properties between the mid 90s and the mid 2000s. And a lot of those properties are at that natural part of the cycle. So my guess is we're going to continue to see record numbers go up as more of those properties continue to migrate through the the hospitality ecosystem.
So many of the properties that are upscale, upper midscale, and midscale on this sheet here, they sign franchise agreements between 10 and 20 years in length.
Yep.
Okay. And when you get to that 18th year, to get that extension to go 10 more years as that particular brand, you have to complete that renovation.
Right.
And those renovations are kind of bringing it up to standard because, Courtyard has changed their prototype design over 18 years, and you need to meet the new standards.
Or, for example, a lot of the major franchising companies will have other options available for that hotelier, which a lot of times winds up being a win for the brand as well, because then they could sell a prime position in that market, maybe to a new construction hotel, and help kind of refresh that brand at the same time.
So the indication on that, Glenn, is mid-scale. If you look at the mid-scale conversion and renovation number, it's significant.
Yep.
And it's significant because each one of the franchise companies now, the big ones, Marriott, Hilton, IHG, have a conversion brand down there in mid-scale now. IHG has Garner, Marriott has City Express, and Hilton has Spark.
Yeah, the funny.
And
We
those,
mentioned that the other day, and
yeah,
it's really, yeah, I get
it's
it.
showing up in that number. Okay. And also in the mid scale, as an example, IHG has Candlewood in the mid
Hmm.
scale, which is in position to receive some of those older stay bridges and residence inns that might not be interested in continuing to stay at that level, and they can come to the Candlewood family
All right, so
and do very well.
we're gonna be running out of time soon, Bruce. So let's talk about some specific markets.
So the cities that are really happening are really around the Sun Belt. So Dallas, Atlanta, Southern California, Phoenix, very popular markets right now. Um, it's busy, but it's also um, really kind of expanding the franchise footprint in those
Mhm.
markets. We're starting to approach 10 markets in the United States where each one of the franchise companies has more than 50 locations, Glenn. We're going to have to do a show about that soon enough
Yeah,
because um, the amount of brands that they have now with 30 different brands
yeah.
inside of some of these franchise companies, they're going to get literally dozens of locations in a given market, and it is an investment impact for their
It
owners.
makes sense. I don't remember which brand it was. I think it's Hampton,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure because I was at a Hilton thing the other week, and they said that there's the longest drive between two Hamptons is like 30 minutes from an interstate or something like from
Wow.
to another. Yeah, so
We're going to need to codify that quote, Glenn.
I
That's
got to
great.
check that. I got to double check that. I had forgotten it, but now that you mention it, and I remember, I think it was the brand leader
That's great.
talking about that. Right. So that makes a lot of sense to me because that follows normal human behavior. If I'm driving down 80 trying to go all the way west, 30
Yeah.
minutes from now, I may not want to stop now,
It's
but
my next Hampton Inn.
right, maybe the next one, or if I'm still feeling it, then the next one. So I think that's pretty amazing.
That's yeah, that's a great stat. I mean, I'm all about that in the
Yeah.
hotel business. For many years, and several of the luminaries that we grew up paying attention to in the industry, they drove to every market
Yep.
and they drove by every market, and that was what the hotel business was. It's different
And mind
today.
you, it was, and thinking about the movie The Founder, they had to pull
Yeah,
over and use a phone plugged in somewhere in
can
order
you
to report
believe
back to
that?
the office. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a mobile phone.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a bag phone in my car.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, it's yeah, a different times, Glenn. Back when the phone had a cord too, huh?
Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
Bruce, the last minute that we have, bring it all home.
well, Glenn, it's great to be here in Los Angeles. I'll be here for a couple more days for the events that will continue this week. Sorry that you weren't here.
Damn
However, I'll pour a beer on you at some point in the near future.
it. Check him out at lodgingeconometrics.com. Get all that pipeline data and a whole lot more about what's happening in your neighborhood. Dude, you got like over like dozens and dozens of people tracking down all this information. It's
We
pretty
do.
amazing.
40 people doing research, Glenn. And you know what? I'll brighten your day again tomorrow. Okay.
I love it. And I know I can't wait. I know you all can't wait. And until then, remember, everyone, you got one life, so blaze on. And we'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Bye.